Okay, let's get started. Hi, I'm Hanan. Welcome back to my channel. If you don't already know who I am, I'm into thrifting, flea markets, and the outdoors, but today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the Oi Racecourse Flea Market, which is the biggest flea market in Tokyo. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my experience, the layout, what it's like, what kind of things you can find there, and why it is so worth your time. Me and my friends definitely scored big, and I'm really excited to share with you guys about that. I have my tea, I have my wooden tulip that I'm using as a mic. Honestly, perfect. I'm kind of obsessed with it. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. So the Oi Racecourse Flea Market is a huge flea market that is about 50 to 75 vendors, and it has two parts to it. There is a shaded region under a garage, and there is an outdoor region that is not shaded. So one thing to keep in mind, that if you are going and it is a hot day, so if you're going anytime from April until maybe early fall, I would really recommend, one, wear sunscreen. I mean, you should be wearing sunscreen every day. Wear sunscreen, wear something pretty light because it does get quite warm, especially when you're walking back and forth through all the aisles and checking out all the vendors. And then another thing is they don't have any bags, so always come with like a canvas bag or something that could be, oh my God, what is going on outside? Oh my gosh. Anyway, come with a canvas bag or come with some kind of grocery bag that will allow you to put all the things that you find in there. Another thing that I would also recommend is bring like a water bottle or something, because there is no water fountains. There's no like public area where you can purchase water. You would have to walk a little bit further to a family mart or something. So yeah, stay hydrated, don't pass out because it is quite warm. So the kinds of things that you can find at this flea market range from literally anything. Like you can find home goods or dishes or a cute brooch or a vintage Longchamp or a honestly, reworked jeans. You can literally find anything. So you're probably going to be spending a really long time there looking through all the booths, all the racks, all the stuff, because it's so random, yet the majority of it, in my opinion, is pretty great. A few things that I found that were pretty plentiful in the flea market were vintage watch dealers and a lot of vintage designer bag dealers, which is super awesome because that's kind of what I was looking for. Like I wanted a cute little vintage coach or something like that. I didn't end up finding the particular one that I was looking for, but there was such a huge selection. Something that I learned about Japan that was super awesome is that they take counterfeiting very seriously. Like there's huge consequences for it, and it's like really looked down on, and this is just something as a society that the majority of people don't do, especially that the government doesn't allow for it, and does have like punishments in place for it, which is great because that kind of gives the buyer or somebody who's a tourist who you know can't quite figure out like which dealers are authentic, which are not, kind of that peace of mind and ability to just kind of really dive in and choose out what you like with kind of having that certainty. In my case, I found this beautiful, so this is my best find, my biggest find. I found this beautiful, I'm gonna go up a little. I hope that it actually focuses. I don't think it's gonna focus. But I found this beautiful, I mean, just look at that band. Let me roll my sleeves up. But yeah, just look at that band. That is a beautiful band. Okay, the zooming is, the focus is not working, but basically it's a beautiful two-tone Gucci watch, and honestly, I don't even care that it was Gucci. When I purchased it, I didn't think that it was authentic. I just purchased it because I fell in love with the band. It was so beautiful. I was looking for a two-toned watch that would go with a lot of my jewelry because I love mixing metals. I love just kind of having all different types. Like I literally have like some pearls on, some gold, some silver on my hands. So yeah, it was like so perfect for my collection. And I ended up going back to the States and just getting it maintained and having it looked at, and also in the same time just seeing if I can get it authenticated, if it is actually a like legitimate or authentic Gucci watch. And I didn't expect anything. I expected that it wasn't. But when I did, I found that it was an authentic Gucci watch, which I was like, oh, awesome, cherry on top. So now I have a very beautiful designer watch that I never expected to have or find, but thanks to going to this awesome flea market, and it was something that you just wouldn't expect just given how I bought it. So I walked up to the booth and there was this older gentleman just kind of crouched down with like a really small like box in front of him, and there was a bunch of watches just all thrown together, kind of the way that like an old woman's jewelry box is. It's just like a bunch of tangled necklaces, things like that, but it was a bunch of old watches. And I was like, you know what, let me have a little rummage through, and I did, and I found this watch, and it like functions properly and it's perfect. And I literally spent next to nothing in comparison to how much it's valued at. So I'm super happy about that. My best friend also got a watch, and it was honestly, in my opinion, more beautiful than mine, but they found it first, so whatever. But yeah, so that's just like the kinds of things that you find, and you really have to have the patience. Like, you need to sit down and be like, oh, let me rummage through this random ass pile, but then you find things that are like this, which is pretty awesome. So let's get into it. I'm gonna share a bunch of clips of what I found, and hopefully you get the chance to go to the Oi Racecourse Flea Market in Tokyo when you're there. 100% recommend. Let's get into it. As me and my friend got to the flea market, we decided to head to the shaded area first because it was a hot day. And the first booth that we came across had a lot of vintage bags. For example, you can see here a Longshaw, a vintage Coach, another vintage Coach, and other vintage designer bags, as well as other genuine leather bags. There were suitcases, there were handbags, there were satchels, there was honestly any bag that you could think of, and they were all so beautiful. We also came across a lot of jewelry and small trinket booths, and there was this one guy who's kind of kneeling down there, you can see him, had the cutest brooches. He even had a cute little Chanel pin that I thought was so beautiful and had to have. Then we went on and we're just kind of walking. It's like a zigzag, so we were just kind of walking along the aisle, and you'll see that there's a lot of vendors just have all of their things laid out on a tarp on the floor. So super informal, but that's honestly where you find the best things for the best prices. There was so many people, and it was actually quite early when we went, which just goes to show how great this flea market is. And it was also really fun to see all the other fashionistas and their outfits, and you know, kind of get to people watch a bit, which was a lot of fun. Something that I thought was pretty cool was that there was a lot of clothing racks that had a lot of reworked clothing. So for example, this booth that I was just looking at had a bunch of cargo pants that were kind of altered in some kind of way. Unfortunately, nothing fit me there, but if I could fit something there, I probably would have grabbed something because I thought it was very unique and super cute. Then we kept walking along and we saw that there was a lot of American jerseys. So I'm talking about hockey, American football, soccer, and a lot of baseball, of course, because I know baseball's super big in Japan as well. But if you're into that jersey look, there was so many, and they looked pretty authentic. I'm not a super huge sports person, so I'm not sure. But my friend who is did say that they looked pretty authentic. Something that was also pretty cool was this ring booth. This guy made all the rings by hand, which was pretty awesome and super affordable, and they didn't tarnish. I think they were silver or something. The next booth that we looked at was this vinyl booth, and it had a bunch of vintage vinyls from all over the world, which was pretty cool. I even found some vinyls from countries in Africa, which was pretty cool. So yeah, I thought that was something that you just don't normally see at a flea market, but yeah, that was pretty cool. We also found this beautiful jacket. I mean, I love a chore jacket. It was so cute, and honestly, if it fit me, I probably would have got it, but it didn't fit me, which is sad. But this whole booth, or this whole segment, there were so many chore jackets that were pretty unique in the sense that somebody has customized them with patches or something that's honestly you wouldn't find anywhere else, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, the sizing was very large, more like men's sizing, and that's another thing to kind of look out for. A lot of vintage clothing shops, just in Japan in general, and not just at the flea market, tend to be very male oriented. If you're not looking for designers specifically, and yeah, tend to be quite large sizing wise. Yeah. Anyway, so we moved on to the outside, and this booth specifically had a bunch of reworked jeans, which I thought was super cute. They even had a pair of jeans with Tupac painted on them. They were about 3 sizes too big, but if they fit me, I would have ran home with them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a blast and actually get the chance to check out the Oi Racecourse Flea Market when you're in Tokyo. If you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye!